This just keeps getting better for the Cleveland Cavaliers as this team has started off the season 6-0, and Kenny Atkinson didn't even have to play the starters over 30 minutes tonight. And from start to finish, against an Orlando Magic team that even without Paolo is still very elite, from start to finish, Cleveland just dominated this game. And I mean from right to finish, as Luke Travers really came out and had an exciting finish to this game as well. So there's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of things to get excited about for the Cleveland Cavaliers after this one. So we're going to break it all down in this video. But before we do, folks, again, you guys have been crushing it, hitting that sub button. I appreciate the community that we've been building here at Cavs Digest. And if you're part of the 88% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and you're as hyped up as we are about the start of the season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's happening regarding this team, because frankly, things are getting crazy right now as the Cleveland Cavaliers faced off against the Orlando Magic, and everyone was talking, hey, the start of the season, the Cavs had an easy schedule. That's why they're at the top of the East. Well, then they come out and beat the New York Knicks. They come out and face off against the LA Lakers and clean their clocks. And now against the Orlando Magic, that yes, we do have to be fair. We do have to acknowledge that Paolo Banchero was out. Wendell Carter's dealing with injuries, all that type of stuff, right? That's all legitimate excuse, whatever. Cleveland from start to finish, because again, the score in this one was about 10-point finish. First quarter, the Cavs really set the tone, put the foot on their throats, and just ended this game right at the beginning of this one. And frankly, Kenny Atkinson was able to just manage this team, have a nice sort of rotation going for this squad, and it's just wicked to see. So, and again, this is all coming off of the backs of the top guys, because Darius Garland needs to receive all the flowers for him right now, because last season was a bit tough. He's spoken about it. Donovan Mitchell's come to his aid about it, right? Darius Garland had a lot of off-the-court stuff, had some injuries happening last season, so fell out of the discourse as one of the top, guards out there in the NBA, from the casual NBA fans. And that's just kind of how it goes. But really tonight, and he continues his revenge season, so to speak, as just in 29 minutes, ended up having 25 points in this game, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. I picked him up on my fantasy team, and I am very happy about it, and very happy that this guy is just balling out for a bounce back year, right? Like Darius Garland, just a guy that you can easily root for out there as an NBA fan, and just him able to come out and have that sort of performance, looking confident, looking ready to go. Like that's against an Orlando Magic team that do have some elite guard defenders out there, and Jalen Suggs, right? Darius Garland handled all that pressure, handled everything as he did, and came out and is playing energized. So Garland right from the jump looked strong, and then obviously I feel like his skills, his topics, it's been understated in terms of the value that Donovan Mitchell brings to this team, the value that he's been able to sort of bring as, one, obviously re-signing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, putting to rest all the rumors, all the drama about trades and this, that, and whatever, right? Donovan Mitchell's here to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he just comes out and is that steady presence. No matter who's hot, who's cold, who's doing what, Donovan Mitchell just comes out and really plays his game every single night. And again, we see it out here in terms of the stat line, right? Donovan Mitchell, again, 22 minutes, right? Only 22 minutes of action. The guy didn't even play half the game. Had 22 points in this one, 3 rebounds, and it just looked easy for him. Because again, same thing said about the Magic, right? They have some solid, on-ball defenders out there on this squad. And Donovan Mitchell has just come out and every single night, brought it out there on both ends of the floor. Looks more motivated. The entire team looks more motivated on the defense end. Maybe that's part of Kenny Atkinson in terms of his strategy and whatnot. Him being coming out and managing the team, whether it be rotations, whether it be strategy, whether it be whatever the heck it is, right? But everything just looks more fluid. Everyone just feels this team feels a lot better, man. It feels a lot better than it did last year, and it's the entire team. It's the entire squad out here, playing really well. Like Mobley, 30 minutes, didn't even need that much scoring from him, but still had 14, 12, 3, 1 steal, 1 block, right? Doing everything out there on the court, looking solid. Dean Wade out there in the starting lineup for Max Strus, right? He's been good, 5 points in this one. And then obviously Jarrett Allen, even though it was 2 points, right? Like 11 boards, it was so easy. It felt like in this game, and facing off against an Orlando Magic team that is really good. Like they still have a lot of guys that are effective out there on the court, right? Like Franz is out there. Suggs had himself a night, right? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was their big pickup, but Wagner out there in terms of his brother, right at the center position, and even Tristan da Silva off the bench. There's pieces on this Magic team, and the Cleveland Cavaliers just made this kind of look easy. They made this game just come in, dominate, and get to play the rest of the roster, get to get people kind of rolling there at that point. So it's just huge to sort of witness this, from the star players to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I don't want to discredit the guys off the bench, because I like Georges Niang. Like, in terms of his personality, I think he always got great quotes. He seems like a good locker room guy, so I'm trying not to bash him. But again, the fan base has been a little bit frustrated with him, but he's been solid this season, coming in, not being like, he's a liability on defense, but it not being Kenny Atkinson's probably covering up a lot of the holes in terms of the issues that Niang brought on the defensive end. Last season, it was a bit more visible and noticeable in terms of those issues. But again, he's coming out, knocking down his threes, which is a positive, right? Like, and then I'm starting this bandwagon. I asked people, no one said I was crazy out the last video I made, but I'm pushing for, man, especially the Cavs end up at the top of the East. Karis LeVert needs to be in the Sixth Man of the Year conversation because he's consistently come off the bench every single night and just been a beast. Not just as a scorer, right? In tonight's game, ended up putting 5 and 12 from the field, 2-7 from the 3-point line, but had 13 points, but 7 assists in this game. 7 assists, 13 points off the bench for the Cavs. Like, what more can you ask for a guy coming in to set the tone, to change things up, and especially, with Max Strus out, his value out there off the bench in terms of, performances has been awesome to see. So, want to give some credit there. And then also Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, again, some of this in garbage time, but, these guys coming out and just being positive contributors, doing some positive things out there for this Cavs team, right? Like, again, we know the star power that Cleveland has. There's a lot of top upper echelon talent on this team in Darius Garland, Mobley, in Donovan Mitchell, and in Jarrett Allen, right? All these types of guys. And then, but having the depth, having just reliable pieces off the bench, even with Max Strus out, right, and everyone having to step up, their level of play, the next man up sort of mentality, right? It's just nice to know that the Cavs have a bunch of reliable players that can play off each other really well and face off against a team like the Orlando Magic and, come out and dominate and look really, really good. And I know one of the fun storylines, one of the fun narratives going to be coming out of this one is obviously Luke Travers, who is just a fun player to watch, man, because you look at the stat line, you look at what's going on, you might look at that and be like, hey, why on earth are you happy about this performance out here from him? 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. What's going on? 1 block in this game, but man, those 4 minutes were a pleasure to watch. His passing is definitely something that the Cavs can use. Obviously, it's not crazy need it right now, but in the future, right, that's if the Cavs do end up having more injuries or actually need him to step up in a moment's notice or for a specific game they need to win and stuff, he's proven that he could be a solid, guy. Like, maybe not night in, night out just yet, but over the course of Summer League preseason and now to start off this year, right, I wouldn't mind if Luke's out there getting some minutes, getting some run out there with the squad. Obviously, it's not needed with the performances of all the guys that are out there off the bench with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but it's nice to know the deep bench guys are always ready, always motivated, and can provide some different sparks, some different level of performance, if Kenny Atkinson kind of needs it. But just a solid win for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this one. Definitely rolling through this tough kind of, it's easy schedule to start, but now this tough stretch of games. Cavs continue to be undefeated. 82-0 season, still not off the table, folks. So if you want to be along for the ride, enjoy us at Cavs Digest. You're part of that 88%. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Anyways, you guys best take us far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out.